Hey, these are the projectiles I got from Dan today. Gonna just kind of show you what I'm observing from them. We'll be loading them and shooting them hopefully by Sunday. I gotta find a lead sled so I can make sure that these are getting shot accurately. Anyway, these are the 75 grains. Just off the naked eye, I see two things that might be concerning, might not be. I'm not a professional when it comes to swaging by any means, just getting into it. However, I do like shooting. I have got quite a few accurate loads out of my AR and my buddy's Savage bolt gun that's in 223 as well. These projectiles, you can kind of see leaning a bit. Some of them do, some of them don't. Left to the right. Some actually might be leaning forward or backwards, so then you really can't tell from this photo. You really can't even tell from being on top of it. And the reason why that they are leaning, if I can get my camera to focus in on here, I'll just take that one that I see leaning the most. Down here on the bottom, you can see that lip right there. You know, you can feel my, or not feel, you can hear my finger getting caught on that lip. You go over to this other side, I'll just rotate it. And there's no lip on this side, no lip at all. I don't know if that's from a punch, I don't know if that's from his final forming die, squeezing this end back off a bit. I'm not sure what that's coming from. But anyway, it's there. It's there on these 75 grains. For some reason, maybe he used two separate dies to do both of these projectiles that I got. I caught that online that he told No Zombie, I hope that's right, that he did use two different dies to do these. But they all look pretty good. They look way better than the photos. Sorry, Dan, that's not an insult. I'm just trying to say that your photos didn't really do them justice. They look really good. I hope my camera does them justice too. Most of the tips seem to be formed pretty well. You can see different heights. This one to that one. I'm not sure if that's going to do anything, if that's going to have too much effect in it. When you roll them though, you kind of grab that and it's kind of showing you something maybe that's not there, but it looks like it's there. When you roll them, they look lopsided, because say this side of it might not be as high as the other side of it. They're not just closing all the way. But with them being that height, you know, I don't think that that's necessarily that is going to be an issue. Let's switch over to the 55s. Now this is what I'm really interested in making. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to put less time into these because I'm interested in these. These I'm actually going to probably shoot out of a bolt gun. Simply because I've read online that the larger ones, for some reason you want to seat them out further. So 2.260 is not really going to fit in my AR. And I'd like to go online and do a little bit of research and see maybe where those AMAX or the VMAXs, whatever they're called, the 75 grain that Hornady makes and sells. I'd like to see kind of what the overall length on those are. And maybe go from there and figuring out where I'm going to seat these. And like I said, I'm going to shoot it out of a bolt gun. Back to the 55 grains. Now, I've used some swage projectiles before that differed in height. So height is important to me, and it's important to me simply because when I seat these, I don't measure them off the ogive. I just measure them off the overall length. Now, the overall length is going to need to be 2.260 or lower to fit in my AR mag, if I recall those numbers being correctly. Anyway, I did try some different swage projectiles that varied a lot. They varied a lot in height. So when I was seating them, rather length. This is obviously not height. It's length. I probably keep saying height. But anyway, it varies the length of my overall ammunition. I can't get anything to be exactly at 2.260 with those other projectiles. Obviously I haven't loaded these. I don't know if it makes that big of a difference. I just like it to not be a reason. Different pressures, seated different depths. So anyway, I do like them to be all the same length, and these really do look like they're spot on. I'm sure that some might be off just a little bit, but then again, so are the Match Kings that I've shot. In other projectiles, I really like the Hornady 68 grain boat tails. I get the best that I've ever gotten out of those. So anyway, one of the things that I found kind of awkward with these, well, let me show you the other swaged projectiles that I have been shooting. These are fantastic. These are fantastic. These are from Gunworks, and I can get these down to just almost the same groups that I can get those 68 grains to. I'm going to put one of Dan's next to it, and you can see it looks pretty darn good, you know. I'm just kind of showing these for reference. I'm not, you know, saying that Dan's need to be exactly what these are or vice versa. Just kind of giving you a bit of comparison. Let's see if I can step out of this light that's behind me so you can kind of see the holes seem to be okay as well. Anyway, the only thing that I'm concerned about, and I might not need to be concerned about with these, if you look close enough, you can see lines that go around it, almost like it's been twisted. The Match Kings that I've shot, or the Hornadies that I've shot, you'll see like a line, you know, going all the way around it. That I assume that's where the actual jacket folds in to make it so you can do this. I don't see those marks on these projectiles. Actually, that I do on the Match Kings or the Hornady Match. The ones that I see on the 55s do turn like that, as well as the ones on the 75s. They do the same thing. I'm not sure if that's a setup on his die. I don't know. I'm not seeing it being the same as it is on those Hornadies or the Match Kings. Again, I'm not saying that these are supposed to be just like those. I'm not saying that at all. It seems like most people want them to just quote-unquote plink with them, and don't care as much as it being bench rest or not. I don't care if it's bench rest or not. I just want something really good and accurate. I've been able to get very accurate groups out of anything I've shot in my AR, which happens to be a Predator Pursuit 20-inch barrel, 1 1/8 twist with a wild chamber. I'll be shooting these out of a Savage Model 25, I believe it is. Laminate stock, yada yada yada, AccuTrigger. So I'll probably be using 8208 XBR. That's what I use in my AR. I might actually use Varget with these 75s. I can probably get my hands on some BLC2, but with them being tests, I don't want to go out and buy a whole new pound of some other powder to test 20 projectiles. Anyway, hope this kind of helps. Hopes it kind of shows people a little bit better. These really are great looking projectiles. They again, some of the photos I've seen Dan posts don't do them justice, but man, these really look good. I hope you can see that through the camera. Anyway, sorry this took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I tend to be a jabber.